We're back once again right here on the channel for another Superstar Shake-Up video. Now, I know what some people are thinking. You already did one, Patrick. Why do you need to make another one? To be honest, and to be fair, I really wasn't a big fan of the first one I made. I felt like it wasn't that... I didn't really like it that much. So I thought I'd create another one. I felt like my first one was a bit ridiculous and a bit over the top. But so here I am with another one. And if you do end up hearing any noise, I do apologize because my sister's kids are here and they're noisy as hell. So if you do end up hearing any noise, I do apologize. So anyway, let's talk about my predictions. Well, my second predictions for the Superstar Shake-Up. And also the second reason why I'm making another one is because the one I recently did was like 2 weeks before WrestleMania. So, and because now that WrestleMania weekend's over, and now that I know where we are right now in the state of mind, I feel like it's actually a much easier time to now actually make a decent prediction for the Superstar Shake-Up. So that's the second reason why I got rid of my first video, because I thought, you know, that one is outdated. People would think that's a bit silly. So here we are. We're gonna be doing my Superstar Shake-Up predictions. Version 2. So anyway, we're going to be starting off with the Raw brand. I am going to be predicting. So first person on this list for the Raw brand is the phenomenal AJ Styles. I still am sticking with AJ Styles to go to Raw because I feel like he's done everything possible on Monday Night Raw. I wish everything on SmackDown Live. And yes, SmackDown is the house that AJ Styles built. So I say just buy a hotel and come over to Monday Night Raw for a year. And you know, I would really love to see AJ Styles compete for the Intercontinental Championship. Hell, even the Universal Championship. Like, I want to see him hold every championship before he ends up leaving the WWE. I've heard that he says he wants to retire at the age of 42. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on with that. So yeah, I'm predicting AJ Styles to go to Monday Night Raw, and Vince McMahon really wants him on Raw too. So yeah, if Vince really wants him on Raw, then you know he'll do it. Next one I did is a tag team, and I'm going to be predicting Sanity. And the reason why I'm going to be predicting Sanity is because who is Sanity on SmackDown Live? I feel like Sanity will be much better, as I think they've got... I feel like they've got more Raw vibe to them. Sure, I was very interested in seeing them a part of SmackDown Live. At first I was like, you know what, these guys on SmackDown, that sounds great. But they've done nothing. They've done absolutely nothing on SmackDown, and it's a shame that WWE won't utilize them. So I feel like putting them on Monday Night Raw could be a big help. And WWE have also, you know, they've been jamming it down our throats like, oh, a tag team could break up, you know? So I wouldn't be surprised that maybe some tag teams break up. Which, by the way, I've also added to these predictions as well. I predicted a couple of tag teams to break up as well. But we'll get to that when we get to it. The next man on Monday Night Raw I am predicting is Randy Orton. Now, as much as I want Randy Orton to stay on SmackDown Live, I feel like he's done everything possible on SmackDown as well. I would love to see him feud with Mustafa Ali. But I don't know if that's the reason why he delivered the RKO. But to me, it's very hard to discuss. But Randy Orton, I feel like he could have a fresh start. I'd say maybe because you could give him the Universal Championship and give Randy Orton the Universal Championship to solidify him as a Grand Slam champion. So, but I think Seth Rollins is going to have a good run with the championship. So I don't know. I think Randy Orton on Monday Night Raw could be an idea for some fans. The next man I am predicting is Shelton Benjamin. Now, some of you may be wondering, why Shelton Benjamin? Well, what's Apollo Crews doing right now? Absolutely nothing. So I say, you get Shelton Benjamin, you draft him to Monday Night Raw, and you have him and Apollo Crews as a tag team. You have him and Apollo Crews as a tag team. Name them the Gold Standards. You know, like Shelton Benjamin's old nickname, the Gold Standard. Give them that. Give them as their team name, the Gold Standards. And honestly, you have a great babyface tag team right there. Hell, you could even make them heels if you really wanted to. But overall, I feel like Shelton Benjamin and Apollo Crews, I think they could be a great tag team. I think they could be a great tag team to really increase the tag teams on Monday Night Raw. Trust me, I think a lot of people would like that. Next, I am going to be drafting Shinsuke Nakamura over to Monday Night Raw. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that Nakamura's contract is running out, and some people are thinking he may not re-sign. But to be honest with you guys, I feel like Nakamura, I think he has stated that he is happy in WWE. I don't know if he was just being sarcastic or if he was being serious, but I feel like he might sign on for maybe one more year. But we'll have to wait and see. But in my opinion, I think Nakamura will stick around for maybe one more year. That's just my opinion on that. I think he'll stick around for maybe one more year before he ends up leaving. The next one to come over to Monday Night Raw is the Usos. I think that one is this one is very predictable because, you know, of what happened on SmackDown this past week. They lost the SmackDown Tag Team titles to the Hardy Boys. I think the Usos would be great for Monday Night Raw. It is time for them to come over to Monday Night Raw because they haven't been on Raw since 2016 before the draft happened. So I think Raw will be getting. I think the Raw Tag Team division will be getting some of that Uso penitentiary. Alright, now this is where I'm going to be going through tag team. I'm going to be breaking up here, and that's going to be the Bar. I'm going to be breaking up the Bar, and I'm going to be moving Sheamus to Monday Night Raw. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh, but why would you break up the Bar? Well, if you've been listening to my video, if you've been paying attention to my videos for maybe like the past few weeks, I have been saying that I feel like it's time for the Bar to break up. I feel like it's time for the Bar to break up and go on their own. I want to see Sheamus and Cesaro as singles competitors. You can have Cesaro remain on SmackDown Live, and you can have Sheamus on Monday Night Raw. You can give Sheamus one more singles run before he retires. Because I think in my opinion, I think Sheamus' time is really coming to an end. And I feel like maybe giving him a run with the Intercontinental Championship. He's never been Intercontinental Champion. So I'd say you could probably have him retire, giving him a little small run with the Intercontinental Championship, and have him retire. Because to be honest with you, I think Sheamus and Cesaro deserve better than being a tag team forever. And to be honest with you guys, they've done everything possible. They've won every single title as a tag team. They've won all the tag team titles possible. There's no reason for them to be a tag team anymore. What's the point? What's the point in having them be a tag team? I feel like Sheamus and Cesaro need to be in singles competitors. That's just my opinion. That is why I'm splitting up the Bar. Next person is Charlotte Flair. I think this one is very obvious. Vince McMahon will want his Golden Girl on his brand. And also, I'd bring Naomi over to Raw because the Usos are on Raw, so you want to have Naomi happy to be on the same brand with her husband. Otherwise, you'll be having a very angry glow woman. So, and also Naomi, she's done a lot on SmackDown, and she's done less on SmackDown. I'd say turn her heel, have her with the Usos, have the Usos turn heel with Naomi, and have Naomi turn heel. You can give her like the Uso like character. I don't know. That's just one of my ideas. And next, I'm going to be bring over to Monday Night Raw. That will be Luke Harper, because Eric Rowan's doing his own thing with Daniel Bryan. I could definitely see Luke Harper coming over to Monday Night Raw as a singles competitor. I feel like Luke Harper would feel. I feel like Luke Harper would be good on Monday Night Raw. Probably find him a new tag team partner to fill out the tag team division, or give him a nice singles run. Give him another run with the Intercontinental Championship or something, Like, you could do something with him. Next man I'm going to be predicting to come over to Monday Night Raw. Now this is where we're heading into the free agent territory here. First one I'm going to be predicting is Aleister Black. I want to see Ricochet and Aleister Black break up, so I think Aleister Black being on Monday Night Raw would be a good thing. I think that would be a good thing. Lacey Evans, again, same thing. Vince loves blonde women, so he would want to have Lacey Evans on Raw. And we don't know what's going on with Becky. I originally had Becky Lynch on my Raw list, on this list, but I was like, but we don't know what's going on with her. We don't really know if she's defending both belts at once, or she's defending them separately. And I think, and I definitely see, and I seriously believe Becky Lynch is going to be defending them one at a time. I just don't see the belts merging. I just don't see it. For the people that think there's going to be a merged division, I just don't see it. Does Lacey Evans deserve one of the championships? Absolutely not. But I just don't see them being a merged division. So I think Lacey Evans will come over to Monday Night Raw. Nikki Cross, I brought her over to Monday Night Raw because I want her with Sanity. Lars Sullivan to Monday Night Raw. Well, obviously because Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Rusev and Lana, I was really running out of ideas on who I wanted, so I really couldn't pick anyone. So I just thought of who I thought of, and Rusev and Lana I've thought of. They're not really doing anything on SmackDown. And if you really want to put him back, and if you really want to put Rusev back with Nakamura, you can have them as a tag team on Raw. And Lana, it's explanatory. She's a manager. What do you expect from her to do? I want to see Lana wrestle, but I don't think she's going to. And as for NXT call-ups, I only picked one. And that will be Pete Dunne for Monday Night Raw. So that is my Monday Night Raw picks. Now we're going to be jumping over to the Blue Brand, and who have I selected for the Blue Brand? So the first man on this list to join the Blue Brand is none other than Braun Strowman. Now, we all saw what happened on SmackDown this past week. We saw Braun Strowman appear and attack Samoa Joe. And it's been hinted that maybe he will be in a program with Samoa Joe. And honestly, Braun Strowman on SmackDown Live, I think that's a great idea because he needs a fresh start. And having him on Raw, it's not really a fresh start. We're used to him on Raw. And it's time for Braun to pretty much go over to a new brand and set his sights on the championships there. To be honest with you, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad Braun Strowman wasn't Universal Champion. Because I think I think he could be a great WWE champion. Because if I had to look at two belts side by side, I would much prefer the WWE Championship. So I'm actually quite glad he was never Universal Champion, because I don't want to see someone like Braun Strowman with a championship that disgusting and ugly. So, and also Braun Strowman competing for the United States Championship. I think he and Joe could work really well together. They've both got good mic skills. They've both got good microphone skills, and I think they could really gel off one another in verbal, and there'll be a lot of brawls between them. I think that would be great. Tag team, I am going to be choosing the AOP, the Authors of Pain, to come over to SmackDown Live. I think the Authors of Pain would make a great tag team on SmackDown Live. I feel like them on Raw, they've been really a bit They were a bit meh, bit misused. And don't worry, don't worry, guys, I didn't put them with Drake Maverick. I've got another idea with Drake Maverick that I've come up with as well. So you'll definitely see that when I get to it. Tag team. I'm going to be breaking up a tag team here again with another one of these picks, and that is Bobby Roode. To be honest with you, I really am not. I have been enjoying the tag team of Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, the Glorious Ones, and to be honest with you, I'm kind of over it. There's no reason for them to be a tag team, and yeah, they've grown on me. I really liked their tag team, but I want Bobby Roode to be a singles competitor again. I want Bobby Roode to turn heel on Chad Gable, and that will pretty much signal that he'll be heading over to SmackDown Live. That is how I would that's how I would hint that Bobby Roode's going over to SmackDown. They lose a tag team match, and you have Bobby Roode deliver a glorious DDT to Chad Gable. You can find someone else for Chad Gable to team up with on Monday Night Raw. So I want Bobby Roode on SmackDown Live, and I think a heel Bobby Roode would be a great challenger for Braun Strowman. What's his name? Kofi Kingston. Another man that I think would be a great opponent for Kofi Kingston, and that is Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre has done a lot on Monday Night Raw. Sure, he hasn't won any championships, and to be honest with you, I would much prefer Drew McIntyre. If he was to win a world championship, I would much prefer Drew McIntyre winning the WWE Championship than the Universal Championship. Just like with Braun Strowman, I would much prefer them winning the WWE Championship than the Universal Championship. That is the only reason why I think certain wrestlers would fit better on SmackDown, because if they were going to win the WWE Championship, and I think that belt would look better on them. So yeah, I'm predicting Drew McIntyre to go over to SmackDown Live and be one of Kofi Kingston's challengers. And I think he'll be the man to dethrone Kofi Kingston when that time comes. Elias is another one, because I think Elias, to be honest with you, I think Elias would be perfect for SmackDown Live. I think he'd be great. I think SmackDown would be great for Elias. He's had his time on Monday Night Raw, and he's just being treated as nothing more than a novelty act on Monday Night Raw. That's all he is. And I want to see Elias I want Elias to be championship material. I want to see him with a United States Championship. Hell, maybe even a WWE Championship in the future. Elias has what it takes. And it's a shame that WWE is not using him to his fullest potential. They're just treating him as a guy that always comes out, has a performance, and then he gets interrupted. That's all they're treating him as. Tag team. Next tag team I am going to be predicting to join SmackDown Live is The Revival. I would love to see. I have been dying to see The Revival on SmackDown Live. I feel like SmackDown would be a much better brand for them. Yes, they became Raw Tag Team Champions. They were lucky enough to at least be the champions. So I think sending them over to SmackDown Live would be a great thing. Sure, they've been on that whole role of, wanting to leave and get out of WWE, but You know, I think moving them to SmackDown Live could be a good decision. Next, I'm going to be predicting Kalisto. Yes, I'm splitting him away from Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik, because I would want the Lucha Dragons back. So I've predicted Kalisto to come over to SmackDown and reform his tag team with Sin Cara. You can have Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik as the Raw's Lucha tag team, and you can have Kalisto and Sin Cara as SmackDown's Lucha tag team. Trust me, I think that will be a great idea. Women, I'm predicting Ember Moon to come over to SmackDown, because I really am not a fan of how they've treated her on Monday Night Raw. I really am not a fan of it. She was only on Monday Night Raw because, oh, her hair is red, her gimmick is red. Oh, it's a perfect fit. You know? Just because you have a gimmick that basically represents red doesn't mean she should be on the red brand. And this is another reason why I think the women's titles won't be merged, because I just don't see it happening. Ember Moon on SmackDown Live would be a great thing. Not a tag team I'm going to be breaking up here, but this is with the females. I'm going to be breaking up the Boss and Hug Connection, Sasha Banks on SmackDown Live. To be honest with you, I am done. I am done with the Boss and Hug Connection. I'm done with this whole friendship with Sasha Banks and Bayley. I'm done with it. I'm over it. There's no reason for this to continue. I don't care if they're best friends in real life. They need to split up. Sasha Banks, since she's made it to the main roster, all she's done up to 2016, all she's ever done on the main roster is associate herself with Bayley. Throughout her entire main roster run up until 2016, when she split away from Team Bad and then began this whole thing in 2016 in the Superstar Shakeup, all she's done is be with Bayley. That's been Sasha Banks' career. Bayley. I'm done with Bayley. I'm done with Sasha Banks being friends. I was looking forward to their feud when they were going to break up, and then WWE trolled us all with that, put them back as a tag team, and yeah, rest is history. I'm done with them as a tag team. And this is one of the reasons why I am glad the Iconics are the women's tag team champions, because I'm done with the Boss and Hug Connection being a tag team. Boss and Hug Connection, by the way, it's a stupid name. It's just a rip-off of the Rock and Sock Connection. And two, Sasha Banks and Bayley are worth more than tag team titles. I think that's what this fan base needs to get it through their skulls. Sasha Banks and Bayley are worth more than being tag team wrestlers. They're worth more than that. They're worth more than tag team wrestlers. They're better off as singles competitors. So yeah, Sasha Banks needs to be on SmackDown Live, being in a singles role. Next person I'm going to be predicting to join SmackDown Live is Bray Wyatt. You know, I did enjoy Bray Wyatt for what he did when he was on SmackDown Live in 2016. I feel like having Bray Wyatt on SmackDown again this year would be a nice help, especially with that mysterious puppet thing that we've been seeing. By the way, that thing is very creepy as hell. And if that's Bray Wyatt's new gimmick, then I guess we'll have to wait and see what goes on with that thing. Another person I want to see on SmackDown Live is Ricochet, because I moved Aleister Black to Raw. Obviously, Ricochet would be best for SmackDown. And finally, the last person before the free agents, which are not many because half of them are on Raw. There's only 2 of them left. 3, because one of them's a tag team. So, the last person I'm predicting to join SmackDown Live before I tell you the free agents is Ruby Riott. I want Ruby Riott away from Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. I'm done with the Riott Squad. Just like with the Boston No Connection. I'm done with the Riott Squad. I'm sick and tired of them. Ruby Riott, I'm a fan of Ruby Riott. I love Ruby Riott. I've been impressed with what she's done. I was impressed with that whole thing that she did with Natalya. probably the highlight of her career. Ruby Riott has so much potential to be a big star on SmackDown Live. However, as a singles competitor, away from Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, they can work on their skills as a tag team. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. So now we've got the last two free agents, and one of them I'm going to be predicting is EC3, because I've heard stories that Vince McMahon, and this is something that I'm very grateful about, Vince McMahon was actually thinking about firing EC3 for no reason. We don't know why, but there was reports flying around that he was going to fire EC3, and apparently EC3 went up to Vince McMahon and told him to give him a chance. To give him a chance. EC3 changing the game. He went up to Vince McMahon's face and told him, "Give me a chance." And that seems to be exactly what he's doing, because there was apparently in a dark match, he was shown with Drake Maverick. And yes, that is the pairing I actually want. EC3 and Drake Maverick on SmackDown Live. I feel like, because of their days in TNA, I know I didn't watch their days in TNA, I've heard they had great chemistry together. So I think having them as a chemistry together would be great. EC3 and Drake Maverick, great. That's great news. That's great. I think that would be really cool. And if Vince McMahon is willing to give EC3 a chance, EC3 would show Vince what he is capable of. That's exactly what EC3 needs to do. And SmackDown Live is definitely the brand for EC3 to change the game. Because he is in the top 1%. And I would love to see him have a run with the United States Championship. Hell, even become a future WWE Champion. Finally, the final free agents are Otis and Tucker. I'm going to be predicting them to go to SmackDown Live because, well, they're the only ones left, and I didn't put them on the Raw brand. So, there you go. Otis and Tucker to go on to SmackDown, because I think SmackDown needs more extra tag teams. And also, got two more. And I would want Buddy Murphy out of 205 Live and put him on SmackDown Live. Because Buddy Murphy's done everything possible on 205. There's no reason for him to be there anymore. Putting him on SmackDown Live would be great. Again, you could put him in the United States Championship picture. Hell, even have Buddy Murphy become the first Australian WWE Champion. Buddy Murphy has so much potential, and it does not need to be wasted on the purple brand. Finally, the last prediction I'm going to be making for this video is if you saw my video yesterday, I brought out a video about the possibility of the Sky Pirates making their debuts to take out the Iconics and their tag team title reign before it even begins, and I think it's going to happen. I think the Sky Pirates are going to get called up, and I think putting them on SmackDown is a good move. Put Asuka with them, have them as a heel faction, and turn the Iconics babyface, and there you go. You got yourself a good stable with Asuka, Kairi Sane, Io Shirai as heels. Now, again, it's like I explained to you guys on my video yesterday. People hate the Iconics because of how annoying they are. Remember what happened to Carmella? Carmella was annoying. Everybody couldn't stand Carmella when she was a heel. And look what happened to her. She became a babyface, and now people love her. Well, not everyone, but she's now more tolerable. And I feel like the Iconics could probably follow that same path. They're annoying as heels. If you turn them face, they'll probably be more tolerable. So that's just my honest opinion on that. And yeah, like I said, when I think of pirates, I think of bad people, because that's what pirates do. They steal treasure. So that's that. But there's something else I want to talk about. Before I go, there's one more thing I want to mention. And that's commentary. I kind of want the commentators to be shaken up as well. They talk about how the superstars should be shaken up. Well, I would love it if they actually shook up the commentary team as well, because you know, I can't stand seeing Corey Graves on two shows. It's called a superstar shakeup. It's called a draft. It's called a brand split for a reason. So, I think they should change up some of the commentary. I would retire Michael Cole. I'd retire Michael Cole because I think Michael Cole, in my opinion, I think he needs to step down and really let some of the younger commentators have their turn. So, I would move Tom Phillips up to Monday Night Raw. I'd move Tom Phillips up to Monday Night Raw. Have Corey Graves on Monday Night Raw, only on Monday Night Raw. And have Byron Saxton on Raw. Yes, I pretty much moved the entire SmackDown announce team to Raw. And then on SmackDown, you could have, what's his face? Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and maybe Paige. Because the reason why I'm not saying Renee Young is because I'm not really a fan of her on commentary. Renee Young's okay, but she's just not really, you know, I'm just not a big fan of her. That's what I would do if I was to change up the commentary. Or instead of having Paige on commentary on SmackDown Live with Nigel McGuinness and Vic Joseph, you can have either Aiden English or Percy Watson. Because I feel like the commentary team needs to change up as well. And trust me, I think you people would agree with me, the commentary teams do need a good change up as well. So that's what I would do. I'd have Tom Phillips, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton on Raw, and have Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and Aiden English on SmackDown. That's what I would do. So that's everything, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me for my Superstar Shakeup predictions, plus a changing of an announce team. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Comment your opinions down below. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And be sure to... I said subscribe. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't done so. And I'll see you all for my next video. See you then.